Welcome to Waywut, your weekly verbal double take. This is a rabbit hole podcast where a couple of old guys do moderate to shallow dives into various topics, ranging from true crime, paranormal, sports, pop culture, or anything else that we find interesting. We drop episodes every Tuesday and on Fridays if we feel like it. You can follow us on Facebook, X, and TikTok. We appreciate you joining us. And now that we got all this self-promotion stuff out of the way, here we go.
Why, hello there. My name is Jason, and thank you for tuning in for your weekly verbal double take. Today, I am leading the meeting. However, this meeting could not have been handled just by an email, as I bring forth another topic that made me say, wait, what?
Everything you said just made me say, wait, what? What the fuck? All right, go on.
Most meetings that we have these days can be handled just by sending out an email instead of having some 30-minute stupid-ass meeting that can be handled by just sending me an email. Joining me as always, aiming the laser pointer at people's swimsuit area is Darrell.
I would not do that. And until they prove that in a court of law, I did not do that. So.
You would all those circles and
Look who's called.
Losing a job is never fun. We have all been there, and some hurt more than others. As in my case, I used to work in the records building in downtown Dallas, Texas. It was right on the corner of Dealey Plaza, the site of JFK's assassination. I loved working there. The job I had was my entry into the legal title field I am in today. My job was legal research and document retrieval for title companies. I would get to go all over the place in the records building, get to use special keys on elevators to get into grimy basements with dusty books. I'm talking about these books were old as shit. I got to travel to several different counties in Texas doing this work. I was very good at it. I eventually was put in a position to run the Dallas County field office. I was moving on up. Little did I know, this is where it started to crumble. The owner and the number two in charge, I call him the number two, but he did way more than the owner ever did, had a falling out. He took a lot of the title companies with him and started his own business to compete against her. It was a big ordeal, holy crap. The owner was furious and was looking for someone to blame. As stated earlier, I was moving on up, but now with this drama, my role changed. She wanted me to start doing sales. Call up title companies, law firms, survey companies, whoever, set up meetings, and try to drum up more work. I didn't really want to do this, but the money seemed appealing. As it always does in sales, you see the dollar signs and that's all you really see. I didn't like it. It's tough.
I attempted it. My thing is, I can take no for an answer. That's why every sales guy you ever come across is either daddy's little princess or a fucking frat boy. Two different people that just cannot handle when you tell them no.
Yeah. What we are told is for every no you get a little bit closer to a yes. So you just keep plugging along.
Like I said, the frat boy mentality. No, stop it. No, stop it. Here, take this drink with this magic pill in it. No. Anyway.
I landed a couple of small contracts, but that wasn't good enough. The owner wanted me to start reporting to the home office in Mansfield, Texas. I went from driving 30 minutes to work to driving over an hour to get to work to do the same job. She even made me start wearing a stupid tie to sit behind the stupid desk. I felt she was micromanaging the shit out of me. She even hired a sales manager to oversee me. Once again, I was already doing this job with no training and showing results. But it gets worse. She calls me into her office one random day and completely goes off on me. She yells at me like I'm one of her brat children so the entire office can hear it. She blamed me for the title companies leaving with a number two and why I wasn't getting them back. She was trying to push me out the door. I knew I couldn't just quit. I had a family. If she wanted me gone, she was going to have to fire me. So I sat there with my face burning, teeth clenched, and I just took it. Oh, Darrell, it was so bad. It was so bad. My face was, I felt myself seething. I wanted to come across the desk so bad and just flip that motherfucker over on his end. But I just
That's
sat
what
there and took it.
I had a similar situation. That's what made me like I quit right there on the spot and went back to college and got my degree. got 2 degrees. But that was my okay, no, I'm not doing this because like yeah, I was about ready to tear somebody in half and I was just like,
Mm.
nope, I
And
quit.
yeah, I wanted to quit with every fiber of my being, but I just knew that she was doing it for a reason.
Yeah.
But I was done. So I started looking for another job. I did still show up every day, do my job. Even though I was looking for another job, I was still entitled to a vacation that I have earned at this job. My vacation request was denied. She couldn't understand why I would take vacation when the company was under attack. I,
Because it's not my fucking problem.
right. Oh, this lady is so bad. I was pissed. A couple of days later, she ended up granting me the vacation request for the next week. During that vacation, I received a notice of a certified letter. So I go to the post office and pick it up. And to my utter dismay, it was a fucking termination letter stating I was insubordinate. This bitch sent an employee of 5+ years a termination letter during their vacation. I was irate.
I've actually had to call somebody while they're on vacation and let them go before, so I can't say nothing.
But you called them. This
Yeah,
lady sent me a letter in the mail because she couldn't call me to fire me herself. She had to send me a letter. Even though I was very irate, it was what I wanted. So I filed for unemployment and get it. But once again, not without this bitch trying to deny me my unemployment benefits. I had to have a meeting with the unemployment office with the VP on the other end trying to explain why I don't deserve unemployment benefits. The unemployment office basically laughed in their face.
yeah. To get denied unemployment, you essentially either have to abandon the job
Uh-huh.
or like do something violent
Yeah,
or
and they
something
were
along those
saying,
lines.
well, he was looking for another job, so we had the right to fire him. And like,
You do have the right to fire them, but the thing is like you
that's
you
not a
also
reason
have
to
the right.
deny unemployment. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not deserve to get fired, especially in that manner. While most folks get the pink slip for things like poor performance or excessive sick days that mysteriously coincide with music festivals, I was fired because I wouldn't quit. It wasn't deserving, so it got me thinking what has been some funny or dumb ways people have lost their job that were deserving? And I have found numerous examples, and that's what we will dive into today.
Okay.
Now, the first one, we've all been there staring at the alarm clock, debating whether we can fake the flu for an extra day off. One genius decided to take a sick day and enjoy a baseball game instead. The problem? He ended up on TV, smack in the middle of the crowd, with a giant foam finger and a hot dog in each hand. His boss, of course a sports fan, saw him on the broadcast and fired him before the seventh inning stretch. If you're going to lie about being sick, maybe don't sit directly behind the home plate on a nationally televised game.
Yeah, that's it's kind of funny because like honestly, and I'm not a boss right now, but in the past, whenever I was numerous times, uh, I never really cared that much. It's your time, it's your sick time, it's your.
That you
You
give
could
that
you
you
could just
get,
tell
yeah.
me I'm sick. You don't even have to tell me you're sick. I mean, even if I was that person, that boss, if somebody said, "Hey, I'm sick, I'm calling out," and then I saw him on TV, I'd be like, "Dude, you could have just told me. It'd have been all right."
Mhm.
And that would be the end of it. I wouldn't fire him. I think that dude's kind of a douche.
I guess it depends on what you're saying you're sick from. If you're saying you're at home deathly ill and
No, I
then
don't give a fuck. I mean, because that was the thing. Like, I never wanted to know. I mean, all somebody ever had to say to me was like, "Hey, I'm calling it sick day." Okay, and that
yeah,
was it. It's your sick time. I don't care. I mean, I cared because it like usually screwed with everything else, and I'd have to like rearrange things. But as long as you weren't trying it on a weekly basis or whenever you exhaust your time, then that put a whole other thing on it. That made an HR
mm,
problem. and then it would turn into something where I would start escalating it. But
Yeah, the one
like
about that sick
I
time.
had this girl that would sit there and call me and be like, "Oh gosh, yeah, no, I can't do it. I'm fighting a really bad UTI," and I'm like, "Ew, I don't want to know about your fucking pussy. It's gross. Just tell me I'm sick. I don't want to hear. I've had diarrhea 6 times this morning. I don't care."
Some people think if you give more details, it makes the and more believable if you just say that I'm just sick. You got to
I
give them the
agree, but the
details.
thing is like anytime I'm sick, I just say, "Hey, I'm really not feeling good," and that's about it. I'll leave it at that. It's none of their fucking business otherwise.
Huh?
And if
Yeah,
they like if one of those places that require like a doctor's note after you leave, whatever after you're gone for whatever days, I'll do that. But I mean, I seriously, for the most part, I've never really encountered anybody that was like too much of a stick in the mud over that shit.
no, I actually had a boss once who told me he was going to call in sick in a couple days because a new movie was coming out, and he was like, "I'm calling in sick this day in like 3 days time," and sure enough, 3 days time he wasn't there. He was out seeing John Wick or whatever movie was coming out.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's your time. I don't care.
Yeah, you've earned it. I mean, most times you get like an hour and a half or whatever sick pay per
I
paycheck.
mean, I would rather be open and not make people so paranoid to call out to where I have more advance notice of when they're not going to be there, and that
Hmm.
rather than finding out an hour before their shift starts. Um, I don't. I think it's stupid whenever you make that sort of thing that where people are afraid and they end up lying and putting it
Hmm.
off and all that other stuff. It's just I don't care. And I've had really good bosses that also didn't care. It was just like I need a break. Take a sick day. Okay.
Yeah, makes it easier for everybody when everybody's on the same page. The next one. One employee at a bank in Italy had a bold idea. He decided to rob the very place that issued his paycheck. In a disguise only slightly better than a pair of Groucho Marx glasses, he strolled into the bank, demanded money, and promptly forgot that security cameras exist. His coworkers immediately recognized him, and police were waiting at his desk before he could even fake a lunch break. Turns out robbing your own employer isn't a great long-term career strategy. I'm an inside guy. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna figure it out.
I mean, here's the thing: if you want to be a bank robber and you work at a bank, you don't rob the bank that you work at. The
No.
very first people they investigate are the employees of the bank.
Yeah. Who has access?
Yeah, every time. Who wasn't at work today? Okay,
Uh-huh.
well, that's where we start. It's that
Yep.
simple.
Very
The
true.
Yeah, it's just he's an idiot. Win stupid games, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yep. Just like this next one. A pizza delivery driver in Michigan thought it would be funny to leave a fake, extremely rude note inside a customer's pizza box, assuming they get a laugh out of it. Unfortunately, the customer did not think it was hilarious and instead called his manager. The note was so offensive that not only did he get fired, but the pizza shop had to offer an official apology and free pizzas for a week. But the question remains, what the hell was on that note?
God, it's that kind of is like Ross's lunch note that Phoebe wrote for him on Friends. Or
Hmm.
it says something horrific and you have no idea why. That's just stupid. If you just get, I mean, you do that to your friends.
Yeah.
If your friends order a pizza, yeah, do that. Same way, like whenever we would sit in each other's sections, whenever we would wait in tables and stuff,
Yeah.
give them a hard time. Uh, but yeah, you don't do that to a stranger. He must have been like special. Like,
Yeah. If you're going to write a note that could be taken one way or the other, then it's probably shouldn't be putting it in there if they aren't going to immediately get the joke.
well, even then, like I don't know. I don't know. I've a couple times had pizza places write stuff in pizza boxes before for
Really?
people. Yeah,
Like on the lid or?
like on the inside. Yeah, there was a friend of mine, and we were both single at the time. and she was in Minnesota. I'm down here in Texas. And since we were both being single on Valentine's Day, we decided we were going to watch a movie online together and have dinner together.
Okay.
And so I ordered her pizza. She was, it was something that was like pineapple and mushrooms or something stupid like that. And
That
I
ain't a
was like,
pizza.
I put in the orders like, please right inside the box. Here's Happy Valentine's Day. Here's your gross ass pizza or something along those lines.
Yeah, mushrooms. I could get pineapple, but mushrooms and pineapple? No.
No, pineapple does not belong on pizza. I don't
I
care
like
what
it.
you,
It's
my wife,
good.
and my daughter say. You're wrong.
It's good.
No,
Juicy.
ew,
A little sweet to it. Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Pineapple, no. I love pineapple. Do not put it on a pizza. I don't like fruit on my meat. I don't like fruit on my pizza. Those things are supposed to be savory. I don't want sweet on my savory. It's
Oh, I
wrong.
like it. It's good stuff.
Oh, no wonder I don't like you. Anyway.
It's a topic that divides people, just like beans and chili.
Or whether you sit down or stand up when you wipe.
People stand up.
We've had this discussion before.
I still don't understand why they would stand up. Your
I don't
cheeks
know, but
close.
Jared did. Remember, he was our one friend that stood up.
Yeah, and we made fun of him for it.
Yeah, of course we did. But the thing is if you ask enough people, it's not 50-50, but it's close.
That's weird.
Where
There's a
people
reason
will,
why you sit on the toilet.
I'm a sit wiper, you're a sit wiper, that's because we're normal. But there are people that will stand up, wipe their ass, and then drop the toilet paper instead of just doing it while they're sitting there.
Okay,
And
well, good.
and what's so funny is you hear like how we're like, how do you do that? The standers think that way about sitters. They're like, how do you do that? I don't understand how that works.
It just feels more messy when you stand up, like your cheeks close. Well, to get
I'm
it a little
sure
more
that
graphic.
I'm sure if all right, out of the tens of people that will listen and watch this, comment below if you're a sitter or a stander whenever you wipe your ass.
Yeah, and if you're a sitter, do you go from behind or do you go underneath?
Nobody goes underneath. You don't go back to front. That's everybody
I,
knows that.
I'm just making sure.
That's unhealthy.
We don't have a hoo ha.
It's still not a great idea. I mean, you like getting BJ's, right? I mean,
Yeah.
make it
uh,
smelly. Have a little smelly patch under your balls. They're not going to appreciate it.
no, it's already a smelly patch under your balls, Darrell.
A smellier patch under your
And there we
balls.
go. Oh, that's funny. Uh, well, the next one. Some people quit their jobs quietly. Others make sure everyone within earshot hears about it. Enter Stephen Slater, the airline attendant who had just had it with rude passengers. After a particularly nasty encounter, he grabbed the plane's intercom, delivered an impassioned resignation speech, grabbed 2 beers from the beverage cart, and slid down the emergency exit chute to freedom. Jerry Maguire was said to be very impressed.
Um, I'm imagining he probably got arrested for deploying
Probably.
the the slide thing. That's kind of a big no.
Unless it was already down for some reason, but yeah.
And on top of that, I'm super duper certain that you're not supposed to be able to get alcohol on a plane once it's on the ground.
Mm. Yeah,
So
he went out like a yeah.
he might have went straight. Was this caught on video? Because I feel like there's a video of this.
Uh I don't know. I don't have a year, but with
Uh,
given the name Steven Slater, you should be able to find that one pretty easily.
Guess I'll check if I have to. I
Yeah.
guess.
A TV weatherman in Kentucky apparently got tired of being wrong all the time and decided to spice up his broadcast by making up the weather. Instead of relying on the station's meteorological data, he started predicting entirely random things like a 90% chance of tacos and a thunderstorm of frogs by noon. Viewers were either confused or delighted, but his boss was neither, and he was fired failing to do the one job he had.
I was gonna say that's what he wasn't doing his job. I mean, he was being a TV personality, which is half of their job, but doing inaccurate weather that actually sounds like you're trying to do accurate weather is a weatherman's job.
Have you seen the weatherman? I think he's from LA. He puts in like song lyrics or rap lyrics into the weather, like he does like an entire song. Oh, it's really good, but he makes it make sense with his weather forecast. It's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
One zookeeper in China had a particularly strong attachment to his animals, so strong that he decided to.
Is this the monkey story?
Yeah.
I love the monkey story. I know this one. Oh, this is so gross. This is fun. Go for it.
Unfortunately, so strong that he decided to take a couple of them home with him. Unfortunately, the missing exotic monkeys were noticed fairly quickly, and when his boss came to check, they were lounging on his couch eating snacks. His excuse? I just wanted to keep them company. His boss's response? Find new employment.
All right.
So what else do you know about it?
It's not the same monkey story. And honestly, now I don't know why I thought it was going to be the same monkey story, but because I'm fairly
now you got to share the monkey story.
All right, so there you can find this. There are articles and stuff about this. There was a baby monkey, fairly certain it was a baby. It was a really small monkey, and it ate a peanut, but it didn't like chew it up well. And it lodged, and it couldn't digest it. These monkeys were not supposed to eat peanuts. Like some person must throw it to them. I think this is in China or something. And it got stuck, and the monkey was sick, and they could not get this peanut out of its ass.
Oh, no.
The monkey had peanuts. The guy licked the monkey's asshole to lube it up to get the peanut out. It's a fucking real
There's
story.
There's other ways. Here's my chance. Oh my God, here's my chance.
Let's see. Zookeeper licks monkey's butt. Let's see. Yeah, Chinese zookeeper licked a rare monkey's butt to help it poop.
Oh, that's great.
There's in the Huffington Post. Yeah, it was a leaf monkey. It couldn't pass the peanut. Let's see. And he licked his butt for over an hour.
Over an hour?
Over an hour.
Okay, that's overkill by that point.
I mean, I know I can only use my tongue for like, maybe 10, 15, sometimes 20 minutes. But
I swear, it's almost there. Just 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah, so that's why I got so excited. I thought you were going to talk about a guy licking a monkey's asshole. I mean, Bengxing claims the monkey was too small for medication to help it pass the peanut, so licking was the only way to help it after washing its butt with warm water.
Washing it?
Yeah, you don't want to lick a poop butt. That's just
of course,
gross.
But you're washing it, so there's the water. You would think the water would help.
I don't know. I mean, well, all right. You've had sex in a swim pool, right?
Yeah.
All right, then it's not a lubricant, dude.
Well, I don't think your tongue is either.
You want to bet? I have testimonials. Check out my reviews on Yelp.
Oh man, I think that's going to go that way on this one.
Well, I mean, sorry, you say Chinese zookeeper, first thing I think of is the guy licking a monkey's ass.
Oh man, how did I not hear about that before? That's greatness. Yeah, he didn't get fired. He got a promotion.
He got a friend for life.
Yeah, that monkey won't leave his side now.
Yeah, monkey's like every now and then trying to sneak a peanut. Guy's like, no, cut that out. I ate a peanut. Sitting there like holding his butt in. Wakes up in the morning, that monkey's sitting on his face.
Oh man, that's funny. I just picture him grabbing a peanut, looking at that guy.
Does it seductively?
Yeah, real slowly.
Just shoves it in.
Oh man, that's great. That's freaking hilarious. Uh, Social media has gotten more people fired than layoffs ever could. Take the employee who tweeted, or whatever it's called now, about how much they hated their job while forgetting that they had their boss as a follower. Within minutes, their boss replied with a simple, then don't bother coming in tomorrow. Talk about immediate consequences. Another classic case was a woman who called her boss a total idiot on Facebook, only to realize that she had accidentally tagged him in the post. uh,
I did
People.
something similar, but not professionally. So I didn't get Facebook until after wife number one left, and I was pretty. I was mopey. I was down.
Mm-hmm.
It was not a high point in my life, and people, whenever you're down, they always try to make you cheer you up, and they try to say positive things. Blah blah blah. I don't do well with that. Leave me the fuck alone. Um, and some guy said something nice to me, and he was just being nice. And then I got on Facebook, and I'm like, anybody that says things will get better, blah blah blah, is mentally deficient. And then later I was like, hey, how you doing? He's like, I don't know, I'm too mentally deficient. And I'm like, oh fuck.
Well, he should have realized that you were in pain and you didn't mean
I
it.
mean, he wasn't exactly that nice to me anymore after that, which honestly was kind of what I wanted. Um, but yeah, it wasn't one of my best moments for sure.
Yeah. Well, when you are at work, your main priority is work. As long as you are taking care of your job, most bosses will overlook you working on something on the side, unless that side project was producing adult calendars. He got caught because of the enormous amount of bandwidth he was using to download porn. Must have been some calendars.
It wasn't where I thought that was going. The way you emphasized enormous, he's got an enormous. I'm like, whoa! Of course he's going to pose for calendars, but no, something else different. Okay.
Going on the road for work has its appeal. Getting
Mm-hmm.
to see new places, eat somewhere
Mm-hmm.
different, or like this guy, set up side pieces. This guy was using his corporate credit card to live in hotels in
Oh, okay.
3 different cities as he was engaged to 3 different women.
Oh, that's just
Sounds like way more
unnecessary.
work than just going to work. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, it sounds like way more work than just like banging side pieces while you're on corporate trips.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to marry them.
No.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. On the outside, if you heard someone had 3 full-time jobs, you would be impressed. However, this guy learned how to take advantage of his situation. He worked on the night shift at Home Depot. He used supplies from the store to build himself a platform above the rug cutting machine and had a whole setup. He slept for 6 hours of his 8 hour shift and did this for almost a year until he was caught climbing in the machine on camera.
Ha! That's pretty cool.
Have you seen the show Employee of the Month or
Oh yeah,
whatever
where
that
they
show with
like
Dane
moved
Cook in it?
the thing, and they had like that whole setup behind
Like a
like some
whole living
pallets.
room. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
playing poker behind it. They're all at work.
Yeah. Uh,
This last one is probably the dumbest. These workers on an assembly line stopped working to have a twerk off. 6 people were fired for twerking for 20 minutes while a seventh judged the winner. I guess the seventh person could not work twerk. Might have gotten away with it if they didn't. They might have gotten away with it if they hadn't moved directly in front of a security camera. What made it more dumb was that they were surprised it was a fireable offense.
that's happened recently. There was some girl that like she's finished her probation period or something with being a flight attendant, and
Mm-hmm.
did its TikTok with her twerking on the plane in her uniform, and they're like, "Yeah, you're fired." And she threw this huge fit, like, "I don't understand." It's like,
You're
you did
representing the
something.
company. Yeah.
Yeah, if you do things on company property while wearing clothes that represent the company, then that's not cool.
Mm-mm.
Um, it's funny. I thought you were going to go over this one where there's like I think he was a software developer of some sort, and software developers can make really good money. And I think this dude was
Mm-mm.
pulling like well into the six figures. And he ends up getting fired because they found out that he subcontracted his work. So not through the
Oh,
company. He went out and found some Chinese firm and had them do the work at like a third of what he was getting paid.
genius.
Yeah,
He should
I
have got a
agree.
raise. You just
But
saved that company money.
well,
Kind of, sort of.
I imagine they had access to proprietary stuff, and that's a no no. So
That's true, too. That's during our. It's this time of year we have to rewatch all them stupid videos for work. You have to watch the propriety or like
hey,
the
I
keep
don't
your
want to.
desk clean type videos.
I don't want to hear that. That is my dream job. My dream job, if I was to ever have, be able to do the exact job I wanted, it would be to make those workplace videos, whether it's sexual harassment or workplace safety or proprietary knowledge, don't join unions,
Make
whatever
them
the thing
better,
is.
I'm hoping.
Well, no. That's the beauty of it. It's like you get to make these awful movies, but the thing is you got to try to make them like awfully entertaining.
Mm,
So I would want them to be acted bad, kind of like if you look at the short films I made.
mm,
You didn't deserve an Oscar or nothing.
mm.
Uh, but I always think back to whenever I was like 19 years old and I was getting a job driving a forklift, and one of the things I had to watch was like a sexual harassment video, and it showed your typical like, hey, you better do this or I'm going to fire you sort of thing or whatever,
Mm.
your standard stuff. But then they were like, they're like, hey, wait, this is the 90s, we need to be more progressive than that. And so they're like, the same sex can sexually harass. And so you see these two burly guys like wearing flannel and working on like a loading dock and like moving stuff, and this one guy's like, hey, why don't we go, spend some time together? And the guy's like, no, thanks. I don't swing that way. And the guy's like, one of the big burly guys with the beard and everything, like reaches towards the guy's crotch and says, that's just because you never tried it. And the guy's like, hey. And I'm like, I'm laughing my ass off. I am laughing my ass off at this because I'm 18 years old, 19 years old, whatever I was at the time. I was 18. I was 18 years old. And I thought it was hilarious. And ever since then, I was like, I want to make those movies. And I would make them like that. I love them. That is my dream job. I mean, I would like to make real movies. Yeah, of course. But I think I would have a whole lot of fun and people would enjoy my workplace videos.
Yeah, it reminds me of the movie The Girl Next Door, where they redo the sex ed video to make it a lot better and more up to date.
I never saw it.
Oh, dude,
Eh,
it's pretty funny.
eh,
It's
eh.
got a young Timothy Oliphant in there.
Okay, well, just because you beat off to him doesn't mean I do.
I like Justified. I like Deadwood.
I
That shit's
know.
good.
I know. Oh, anyway.
No, not to him. Most people hope to avoid getting fired, but if it's going to happen, you might as well make the story legendary. Whether it's an epic meltdown, a bad decision involving a wild animal, or in that other guy Zookeeper's case, it may be the best decision he's ever made. Who knows? Or simply failing to understand how the internet works. Some folks just can't help but go out in spectacular fashion. So if you ever find yourself getting fired, take comfort in knowing that at least you didn't lose your job via a certified letter on your vacation.
The times I've been let go, I go into that meeting with a smile every time. I'm not going to let them shame me or anything like that. I've been fired for some bullshit reasons. I've been fired for stupid reasons. Uh, and I've refused to let them see that they have any effect on me. It's like, fuck you. I know I know the shit you're going to say. I've had to say it to way more people than I ever wished I ever had to.
Mhm.
And so, can we just get to the point? Like, one of the last times I got let go, it was by a company that wanted to hire their friend back. There's a weird merger thing, and I had the job that their friend had at their previous company, and so they're like, yeah, we merged. So they got rid of me and put their friend in. Um, Yeah, but so they had to make up reasons on why they were getting rid of me, and which I knew they were working on doing that anyways. I'm not stupid.
Making
And
that paper
so
trail.
whenever I get the surprise meeting, I'll like, hey, it's time for this meeting, and you go in, and all of a sudden there's like some other person that's not normally in there, or HR, and you're like, oh, okay. So I'm like, and I was friends with the HR person that was in that meeting, and she said
Awkward.
she said she had to try so hard not to laugh because the guy that fired me was terrible at it. I was good at it. Unfortunately, I did it way too much, but he was just awful, and I'm just kind of sitting there. I'm like, is this the part where you're supposed to say this? And she said she had to like choke it down real fast, and I was just like, just waiting for him. Like, come on, you're really bad at this. Do I need to show you how to do this? This is
That's pretty
awful.
funny.
Yeah.
Show somebody how to fire you.
Yeah, that company was pretty cool until that merger. That we got totally screwed over on that one, but whatever.
It happens. I've been laid off a couple times. Both times were shocking. Or one of the times were not shocking. We had several months' notice, but one of the times was pretty shocking, considering I was the second best of all of the company in delivery driving times.
That doesn't always matter.
No, it did matter. They went by tenure. I'm like, this is
I
dumb.
had to go by because whenever I was in charge of the support department for a software company, they decreased my budget substantially, and I needed to make sure that our salaries fit within that budget. And so I had to go through and pick, who we were keeping, who we were letting go. And unfortunately, money was a part of that decision where it was like, okay, I can keep this person that's really good, but if I keep them, I'm going to have to let go 2 or 3 other people just to make up for that amount of money. And so it's a bitch, and it sucks. And that was not the worst one. I think the worst one was where I laid off a bunch of people a week before Christmas. That was not my idea either. I just did what I told. I just did what I just did what I was told. I was just following the orders.
Well, that will do it for this one. Check back next week when Darrell aims his laser pointer at another topic that made him say, "Wait, what?" Until then,
all right, bye.
We'll see y'all later.
Thank you for joining us for Waywut. If you would, tell your friends or your enemies that they can watch us on YouTube or Rumble. And if you don't want to see our face, or if they don't want to see our faces, you can listen to us on your preferred audio platform. That's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Pandora, you name it, we're probably on there. Please like, review, and comment on whatever platform you joined us on today. We'd appreciate that a ton. Again, just thank you for listening and watching. We hope you'll join us next time. We'll make you say, "Wait, what?"